Every club. Every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to Beyond the Pitch, a daily women's football podcast brought to you by the Global Sports Podcast Network. I'm Catherine and this is a really special episode because I'm joined by Georgie and we've never recorded together before.
Hi, Georgie. I know, how exciting. Hi. Finally, the stars have aligned. I'm splendid. How are you?
I am also splendid, especially after some of the things that we're going to talk about.
I know, it's been a good week, hasn't it? Been a good week for everyone involved.
Yes.
Exciting.
Apart from Carla Ward, but we'll get to that. In today's podcast, we'll be talking about the international break and that game. I'm, of course, talking about Slovenia versus the Republic of Ireland. No, I'm not. I'm talking about England and Spain. The She Believes Cup and Japan's historic win to end the US's run of She Believes titles. I think it was 5 in a row. And we'll finish off with the news of Matt Beard's departure from Liverpool and the news that the WSL, they're considering scrapping relegation, which seems to have come out of nowhere.
Wild.
I know. But let's start with the international break. So what an international break. Some massive results, some standout performances. To summarise just a few of the bigger results, England drew with Portugal 1-1, and everyone said that we'll exit the Euros at the group stage. Then England beat Spain, and everyone said we're going to win the Euros.
Yes.
Scotland showed progress, but had 2 losses, very narrow losses, it must be said. 1-0 to Austria, and then 2-1 to the Netherlands. The Dutch drew with Germany, and then narrowly beat Scotland. The Republic of Ireland suffered their worst defeat in over 10 years, losing 4-0 to Slovenia in a harsh welcome to international football for Carla Ward. Georgie, which games do you want to pick out? Which did you watch?
Oh, all of them. I watched every single one. No, I do wish that I could say as such. I had a very busy week, so I caught very little of them, but I have been trying to keep on top of the highlights. Obviously, love a highlight reel. Good all round, really. Obviously, I mean, shall we just start with the elephant in the room? It's England, Spain. Come on. I have to say, I did watch bits and pieces of the England Portugal game. I didn't go in with too high hopes, but come on.
I mean, the Portugal game, the first half was really good. It was really good. The second half, though, we just seemed fatigued, sloppy. I have a feeling that they were kind of putting everything aside for the Spain game, and they were kind of conserving all their energy and saying, "All right, we've got this 1-0 at Portugal. Let's just cope with that, and then let's just go and really put our all into Spain." Which, in hindsight,
they did.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how it can differ so significantly without too much change. I know there was some change in players, but not too much. Mm-hmm. Didn't look like there was a huge change in tactics either, but how the difference in performance you can get. I know it is. Yeah, I know it's the end of February. It's bang on the run up to the end of the season. People are tired. People are mentally trying to do stuff for their club, for their country at the same time. But yeah, what a huge difference from the second half against Portugal to straight off the bat for Spain. It always looked confident, always looked convincing. And I'm so pleased. I thought it was going to be an absolute drubbing.
Yeah, I think everyone did, to be fair. And I mean, quite a few people I've seen online, people are very hesitant to compliment England. They don't want England to do well.
No. Especially
English people.
English.
Yeah. So a lot of people are saying, oh, well, Spain could have scored 10 though. And I think, well, if you're saying that they could have scored 10, then that's not just luck when they haven't scored 10.
When they didn't, exactly.
That's not just luck. That is a good defensive performance. And I think people tend to put too much stock nowadays in, because everyone wants to play possession-based, fluid, attacking football. People forget that half of the game is defending. And a good performance doesn't just... The issues with Portugal, even back to Germany at Wembley, attacking wise, that was a good performance, even if the defence was non-existent in that game.
Yeah, yes, quite.
Yeah,
but no, it seemed that it all came together, and I was pleased to see that Lucy Bronze put in a good performance, because she must have been carrying that World Cup final for a while now. So go on, hun. Love to see it. What else, Catherine? What have you been watching? What are your tops?
Well, I just a couple more things on that game. I've seen quite a few people criticising Jess Naz, and I listened to Ian Wright and Steph Horton's podcast this morning, and they kind of went in on Jess Naz a little bit. And I think there's an issue with Jess Naz because people seem to say she's not scoring, therefore she's not in form. And I think, well, that I don't think she's that kind of forward. I don't think she's there to score 10 goals. I think she's there for her pace, and she tracks back. I know we need to shout out Lauren James for her tracking back.
Yeah.
But just now, she puts in such a defensive shift. She has the pace that she can really get in behind the opponent's defense, but she also tracks back and does a really good job defensively. So I feel like there's a bit of unfair criticism leveled at Jess Naz, and I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't have any strong opinions either way, to be honest. I think we're still coming off the back of trying to find really a direct replacement for Ellen White, aren't we?
Oh yeah,
where it is out and out striker, or up the front all the time. You get the ball to her in the box and she'll bang it in the net, and we just don't have anyone in the current setup that has that direct comparison. So yes, I think it's unfair to look at someone like Jess Naz or even Alessia Russo or whoever with that same lens, and maybe that's what they're doing. But she's just a baby. She'll be fine.
She will be fine. The other game I wanted to pick out, there's two. One is Carla Ward, Slovenia and Republic of Ireland.
Ouch.
I mean, what an introduction to international football.
Yep.
I mean, I don't even know what to say about it. I didn't watch the full game. I watched the highlights. It was just a poor performance across the pitch. You can't get away from that.
Yeah, was it a good? I didn't see this one, I have to admit. Was it a good performance from Slovenia? Is there something to be said there?
I mean, I think it was kind of both that the Republic of Ireland were poor enough that they made Slovenia look good, and Slovenia did play reasonably well. But I mean, I didn't think there was much wrong with the tactics. I know Katie McCabe was in a slightly different position than usual. But I didn't. Yeah, it just it's one of those games where every single player lost their individual battles. It was just not a good day for them.
4-0. Yeah, that's not the debut you hope for, is it?
No. And the other one I wanted to just pick up on quickly was the Netherlands and Scotland, because the Netherlands are so weird at the moment. I don't know if you watched back in October, November, they played the US, and the first half they played the US off the pitch. No one could beat them in that half. I mean, with Miedema, Van der Donk and Ward back, of course Van der Donk now is injured, but she was then, and they just looked untouchable. As it was incredible, and the US barely got a look in, and to do that to a team like the US is But then they have these moments, like for large parts of the game against Scotland, they were 1-0 down, and they didn't seem to really push for a goal, and they just seemed a bit blunt, would be the word. And that was the same, even though they who did they beat just before? Oh no, they drew with Germany.
Yeah. Which is a fair result.
It is a good result. But I wonder if, because the head coach is leaving after the Euros, and it's a very weird situation because Nigel de Jong is the head of the Dutch FA or director of football, something like that. And he hasn't said why they decided not to renew his contract. There's lots of rumours. Some people are saying that the players want a more progressive coach. There's lots of rumours that they want a female back in. Right. Of course, they had Serena before.
Of course.
and a lot of people saying they want another female head coach. But then the only real female head coach who's Dutch with the UEFA Pro license is Renee Sleggers.
Oh, I can't have her. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, you see quite a lot where you can see countries trying to put the investment, trying to put the time to grow their women's team, and taking weird approaches to do it I guess that's what they're trying to do, because they've had some really good results. They didn't have the best run to the World Cup or even the Euros, really. I know we're getting on to that a bit now, but who knows? It's interesting though that it's gone from we must have like top tier coach, and invariably that used to just automatically go to men, and now they're like, no, it has to be
a woman.
Like, here for it, go on.
I mean, I will get to this later, but I have a feeling, I don't know why, but I think that the Matt Beard situation is something similar. I think they want a woman.
Okay, spoiler alert.
So over in the States, the She Believes Cup has been going on with 4 nations taking part. We've had the US, Colombia, Australia and Japan. It was a tough tournament for Australia, who lost every game and conceded quite a lot of goals. Celebratory one for Japan, who lifted the trophy for the first time. They beat Emma Hayes' US national team in the final game 2-1 to claim the win, after a dominant tournament saw them score 10 goals and concede only 2. So have you seen any of the games or highlights from that one?
I've seen some highlights, and I have to say, very impressed by Japan. They looked great the whole time. I mean, obviously got off to a great start by smashing Australia 4-0 in the so shocked you just throw things on the floor. 4-0 in the first game. I did not see that coming against Australia. I probably would have said, I didn't really think about it, but I probably went in being like, Japan are the favourites to that game. But 4-0 favourites, that's not what we expected. I feel like the Australia team has just been getting stronger and stronger, and that was not, the whole tournament was not a strong performance from Australia at all. Something has gone awry there.
I mean, how long have Australia been without a permanent head coach for now? Must be nearly a year.
Is it? Well, it's starting to show if it's been that long, because they need some structure. They need a purpose. It just felt like a lot of the time they're just running around, individual players playing individual games. Nothing really fitting together at all. I know that they did get 1 goal against Colombia.
The only goal they scored, I think, in the tournament. I'm not sure.
Yep, I think that was. I think that is right. Came from Hayley Rasso. But sorry, Australia, didn't do it for me. USA, I'm somewhat invested with Emma Hayes, having a look, and it looked like she was trying she was using the tournament for what it's for, right? To try different things and different formations and see what sticks against top tier other teams. And she did that. I didn't pull off that well, did it? But don't blame her. Looked good still. It could have worked. There was just a few things that fell apart.
I don't know. I mean, when I think of Emma Hayes, the one thing that I've kind of loved about her Chelsea team and her US team at the Olympics is that she really has the knack of getting the wins, even with like really average performances. Like Chelsea last season, I remember lots of 1-0s and the performances not being anything spectacular, but always coming off with that win.
Yeah.
And I just think this tournament, yes, I think absolutely she was using it to introduce younger players. However, just one interesting stat for you, because I love stats, that's my thing. England's starting 11 against Spain was actually younger in average age than the US is against Japan.
That is a fun stat.
Yeah, which I just find interesting, because there's a narrative that the US were using the She Believes to introduce younger players. There's also a narrative that England pick favourites and only start older players. We actually had a younger.
Yeah,
11 against Spain.
interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you've got me there. What can I say? I'll shut up. But no, I think maybe not just younger, but like less experienced.
Yes,
I don't know.
I think that's it.
Yeah,
I think that's it. I think that's what Japan have done really well. I was looking at their team and looking at that squad that played against the starting 11 that played against the US. Many of the key players in that team under 25, Maika Hamano, Fujino Nagano, Yui Hasegawa is only 28, so she's still likely to be going for the 27 World Cup, as is Yamashita. She's only 30. For a goalkeeper, she may still be going then.
Oh, yeah.
27 World Cups. It's going to be interesting.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I think, with the international break, with the Nations League friendlies, qualifiers, whatever just happened. You know what? No idea.
Even Leah
No idea
Williamson
what's going on.
On the She's a Baller interviewed her after the match. She was like, I know the Nations League is important for something, but I couldn't tell you what.
I don't know. Nobody knows. I think you might qualify for something.
Yeah.
Well, the Olympics famously, but anyway, let's not talk about that.
No.
The gap is closing, right? The gap is closing between what's traditionally been, the higher, more skilled, more whatever nations. Slovenia is beating Republic of Ireland. Japan is, well, they've always been a top team, but to beat USA probably wouldn't have had that going. Colombia even. I mean, I haven't really touched on them yet. Good for them. I mean, they had a fantastic World Cup as well. So it's not super surprising, but it's good to see them continue to compete.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you can see that with the Nations League scores that we've had over the past week or so. Apart from Slovenia, not many really big scorelines. It's been close 2-1s, 3-1s, a few draws. The gap is closing. And I think with Portugal as well, people forget they had a really good World Cup. They've been on the up. They have some very talented players, as we have found out.
Yes.
So, I did want to point out one player for the US was Lily Johannes, who plays for Ajax. She's half Dutch. I think she was born in the US, lived in the US till she was 10, and then moved over to the Netherlands. And I watched the Eredivisie quite a lot. So I've seen her with Ajax. She is brilliant. But my question is, with her now playing quite a prominent role for the US national team, for the good of the Eredivisie, what length should Ajax be going to keep her? Knowing that they tend to be a league where all the big players, Jill Roord, Vivianne Miedema, start there and then move forward. So I think they should be doing everything possible to keep her in the Eredivisie, if not at Ajax.
Yeah, interesting take. Yeah, they should. I mean, you think of the European women's leagues and you think of what are the competitive ones, and Eredivisie is not the one that comes foremost to mind, is it? And if they want to become a competitive league, if they want to become a destination for top level elite female players to come and play, then they need to keep her. They need to use her as a showcase for what's possible, for what can be achieved, and that it is a top place that you can play and stay at that top level. Will they be able to do so? It's not. I'm not entirely
not
certain.
When Chelsea exist.
Well, quite. They're just snapping everyone up. But it's also, it is a good question for Lily and for anyone else playing in those in the smaller inverted commas leagues, the lesser known, is, do you want to be the star player of the Eredivisie, or do you want to be on the bench for Chelsea? And I guess, you know what, some people do want to be the star. If she's still getting the game time, she likes the culture there, she likes the team, she likes the people she plays with, and she's getting to play for the US national team as well, why not stay there? Depends what you're looking for.
I completely agree. Stay there, Lily. We would love to keep you in Europe.
Here at Global Sports Podcast Network, we spent a lot of time selecting our delivery platform. Zencastr came out the clear winner. With 4K video recording from your phone and AI editing that automatically removes all those ums and ahs, it's super easy to start a podcast that sounds great and is delivered efficiently. If you're ready to tell your story, check out the link in the show description to learn more about Zencastr.
Our last topic. So on Thursday, Liverpool announced that Matt Beard would leave Liverpool immediately and assistant Amber Whiteley would take charge on an interim basis. A little bit of context for Liverpool. They've won 4 of their 6 games in 2025, losing to Manchester City and Leicester. They've scored 11 goals and conceded 7, 4 of which came against Manchester City. They're 7th in the WSL. They're still in the FA Cup. They face Arsenal very soon on the 9th of March. So, what's your take on this? I was flabbergasted.
I was so surprised when I saw, it popped off on the group chat, didn't it? And I was like, pardon? What? Yeah. Why is... it makes no sense at all to me whatsoever. I've... you just listing off those things just now, you're like, okay, if you'd asked me where they are, I might have said probably higher than 7th of the table. Because I felt they've actually been having a really strong season. Maybe they've had some results not go their way that maybe I thought, just assume that they did, and maybe that's where they slipped. But still, 7th is not bad. That's a very strong position to be in. They're only just below Tottenham. Mm-hmm. You've got Brighton, and then you've got the top 4 that you'd expect. That's a very strong position to be in for the WSL with the team that they have. I know that they've lost a few of their key players as well. So I think Matt Beard's been doing a great job. I'm shocked.
Me too.
What's gone on there? And also the word immediately.
Yes.
Not at the end of the season, not after the FA Cup or what. Immediately. What has gone on?
Yeah. I mean, that's my question. Why not wait until after this big Arsenal game? Why put your team in a position where they don't know who their permanent head coach is going into a massive game like that? It's just...
Yeah.
And besides that, Liverpool... They have a big name, but they don't have a big budget. Certainly nothing compared to Chelsea, Arsenal, even, Man City. So why are they getting rid of the manager? It feels like they're just putting the kind of their league position wanting to be top 4. We're not top 4. We're going to blame the manager. And yet the investment hasn't been there to support him.
Yeah, if you're not going to back your managers with finances, with or at least trust to do it over multiple seasons, then what are you there for? What's he expected to do? I really wondered. I wish that they could tell us what they expected of him. What has he not done? What more did they want from him that he has not delivered this season? Which part of me does make me wonder. I haven't seen any press releases from Liverpool, the club, so they might have already done this. But it's like, what are the reasonings? Is it something more sinister? Is it a hashtag Me Too?
I mean, all they have kind of said, I looked at the statement, all they really said was that they feel like it's the best decision for the team running forward. Their first announcement said, Liverpool Football Club can confirm that Matt Beard will leave his post as manager with immediate effect. And then they went back. They said a bit more... I'm just trying to find what they said. I mean, they've been very nice about him. There's lots of posts on social media wishing you all the best for the future, sharing highlight reels. It doesn't seem like there's anything sinister.
No, I haven't seen anything like that. It really does feel that odd and that sudden, Obviously, I hope not. So I'm salacious here, and it probably is just a business decision for whatever reason that might be. But what weird!
I think you're right as well. Immediately, whenever coaches are released immediately, I think, well, there must be something that they're doing that's actually kind of having a negative impact on the team that they need to be let go straight away.
Yeah. Or a board decision has been made and he disagrees. It's breakdown of communications, breakdown of trust. As he told them just where to put it because they're trying to make him do something that he doesn't want to do.
He was not on my bingo card for the first managerial change of 2025. I have to admit, Gareth Taylor was.
Right, yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, if he's still clinging on. Yeah. I mean, you could have waited for Arsenal to, I've been there and I've sat there not that long ago. Was it the start of this season or the start of last? At the Emirates, Liverpool beat Arsenal 1-0, and Arsenal were clueless. So it's not even, I was about to say, just wait for the Arsenal game, lose terribly, and then use that as an excuse to sack him, right?
At least get that game out the way.
Yeah. But there's no guarantee, they'll probably put on a great performance and Arsenal will be in trouble now that this has happened. But weird.
My question is, they're not saying anything, but it's a very similar situation than we have with the Netherlands, where, Andries Jonker wasn't dismissed. They just decided not to renew him. But that seat has come as a surprise because he's done fairly well over the past couple of years. I mean, yes, they had a disappointing World Cup run, but they had a host of injuries. Jill Roord, Viviane Miedema being out, Danielle van der Donk as well. So he's done okay, I think, given the circumstances. But that came as a shock because the KNVB essentially gave no reason, and they're refusing to give reasons. They just say, no, we're not telling you why.
That's it.
But the big rumour there is they want a female coach. And I just wonder if, because there's been quite a few noises around the number of female coaches we have in the game in the WSL. Yeah. And the Netherlands have, well, they haven't said it, but the rumour there is that they want a Serena Wiegman 2.0 is what they say.
Don't we all?
I'm saying you're not having her back.
No, quite.
But
well, we'll see what happens to Liverpool for the rest of the season. Hopefully they still have a good run at it.
Yeah. Last thing wanted to talk about, a new thing today. They're talking about relegations being scrapped for the WSL. Yeah. Where's this come from?
Where has this come? The same place as the sacking of Matt Beard, I think.
Yeah.
Completely, I don't know what the word is, bonkers. Absolutely bonkers, in my opinion. I know that they're touting it, they want it to, increase the profile, sustainability and profitability of women's football, it says, and to expand the WSL and the Championship. And it's like, okay, yeah, cool. Expand the WSL and the Championship. Absolutely, fully on board. But you have to fund those clubs correctly in order to allow for that expansion. And also, the whole point of relegation and promotion is to promote the profitability and stature of the game by increasing competition. If you've just got the same teams playing each other week in, week out, year in, year out, with no threat of loss of money or funding or status or whatever, what are you playing for? What's the point?
And also, the Championship has become incredibly competitive, and I think that's because they're all vying for promotion. The top clubs, Birmingham City, London City, Lionesses, they say their aim is to become a WSL team. They shouldn't just be handed that. It's a great thing for the Championship that it's become so competitive.
Absolutely.
And you're just their motivation when there's no promotion. They're just like, okay, well, we'll just stay here.
Yeah, exactly. And it will settle out. You'll have whoever's top of the Championship right now, which I should know, but I don't. And they'll sit there, they'll just be top of the Championship for the rest of their lives. And it's like, well, now what? What's going to happen there? You get all those wonderful stories of, you seeing Palace come up this season and seeing, the Readings and the Birminghams go up and down. And it's like, yeah, that's what you want. And you see it in the men's game. You see, your Wrexhams, which is an extreme example, but their ability to climb so quickly, so highly, so quickly, that's what you want to see. You don't want to just see the same people stuck or indeed fall. Stoke, I'm looking at you. Poor guys. This is what you want to see. This is what makes the WSL, this is what makes the Championship, what makes all the national leagues. This is what makes English football exciting, competitive. Yeah, I don't know.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it, WSL. Don't do it.
But what a good place to end on. just saying, don't do it, please. Well, it's been a pleasure.
Indeed.
Where can people find you online?
Somewhere. I'll have to.
Well, somewhere.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
Somewhere. I'm still at Wembley. That's where I am. I'm still at Wembley as the goal against Spain went in that moment. I'm going to live in that moment for a while.
Beautiful. We can all hold that moment.
Well, I was in the press area, and you're not allowed, or you're not supposed to be supporting either team, obviously. But then when that goal went in, half the press area couldn't help it. We all just went, yay!
Yes, right. Yeah, you can't
you
stay
couldn't
neutral.
help it. You had to.
No.
What game? All right. Well, we'll see you all next time. See you all. Welcome you all next time to the next episode of Beyond the Pitch.